Hello, folks. Welcome to Spanish Fork 17. Today's matchup is the Spanish Fork Dons up against the Springville Red Devils. It is one of the first of our Region 9 matchups that we get to air here on Spanish Fork 17. It's kind of been a weird season in terms of weather and stuff, and so there was going to be some games up against Salem Hills. Those games ended up getting mostly dealt with because of weather, but here we are for this second game of this three-game set here up against the Red Devils. The Spanish Fork Dons taking the previous game 11-9, a basically big offensive fest there. Home runs aplenty in that ball game, 3 for Springville and 1 for Spanish Fork in that matchup. And this is a key matchup here really for the Dons to be able to really establish themselves here in Region 9 play. Kind of a rough season for them thus far, not your typical Spanish Fork win-loss record, as you will, looking at 3-6 so far on the season, so it's been a bit of a struggle for them, but hoping to be able to rebound here and be able to take this series against Springville, even an opportunity to potentially sweep, as we're going to take some time here to listen to our national anthem.
Thank you.
Always love listening to the national anthem. Really just gets you in the right mindset for baseball on Spanish Fork 17. Hope that you enjoyed that, and hope that you're ready to enjoy, like I said, a really good ball game here. First one in this matchup, 11-9. Probably going to get some different results here, I would think, in game number 2, but I would also not be shocked to see this one also turn into a bit of a slugfest. Again, Andrew LaRose on the broadcast here for you, along with Mac Branning. And Mac, what do you think about this ball game? What's going to be the key thing here for Spanish Fork to be able to take game 2 here and really put themselves in the driver's seat here in this series?
Well, getting that win, first off, Andrew, it's great to be here with you. Just happy to have baseball. That's what I love about this sport, is it's the changing of the seasons, great weather, finally, which we've needed out here to get some sunshine. But as far as this game goes, game 1 was, like you mentioned, high scoring, tough, tight game all the way through. Spanish Fork scoring a couple in the 7th inning to take that W. I think for today, Spanish Fork, you just want to get out into an early lead, kind of separate yourselves. We know it hasn't been the start that Spanish Fork has wanted this year, but region play is just starting. They're 1-0, the win yesterday, so I'd love to see them get off to a fast start, get an early lead, and hold on to it. See some good pitching today. They proved they can win a slugfest. Can they win a game from their pitching? We'll find that out today, maybe.
Yeah, on the mound here today for Spanish Fork is Tegan Scott, so hoping for a good performance from Scott here up against a very dangerous Red Devils lineup. They'll be starting things off with Trent Ash. He'll be followed by Junior Lawaki, then followed by Easton Barrett. So, like I said, this is a Springville lineup that put up a ton of runs in the last game, as that one is piped in there for strike 1 by Scott.
Yeah, Scott coming into this one, he's had 2 appearances. We're still early into this season. Oh, and
a little tapper just right at Scott. Yep. Flips it on over to Nielsen for out number 1.
Yeah, coming into this one with an 8.40 ERA, but again, just early in the season, a lot of time left to knock that ERA down a few points.
Yeah, it was definitely roughed up in his appearance down at the Red Rock Classic down in St. George. He took the game against Palo Verde, and the Knights definitely beat him up in that, as that's going to end up hitting hitting Laoke right square in the shoulders there. I mean, that's one way to deal with a dangerous hitter, I guess. But you'd like to see him pitch to him. But yeah, I mean that. Junior is potentially one of not just one of the best in our region here, but potentially one of the best ball players in the entire state. I mean, he's just had such an impressive junior season, and would not be shocked to see him potentially being crowned as the 5A Player of the Year. He's just been that good this year.
Absolutely.
That one is going to miss inside and a little bit low there to Easton Barrett, the designated hitter today here for the Red Devils.
Yeah, for Barrett, coming into this one as he waits on this pitch.
Big swing and a miss there for strike one.
Yeah, Barrett so far coming into this game, you got a .457 on base percentage, .448 slugging. So definitely a lot of pop behind that bat and can get on base.
I didn't have a great game yesterday, as that one does kiss that inside corner for strike two. So now a 1-2 count here on Barrett. Actually didn't even get a hit in yesterday's game. Was 0 for 4. Did end up scoring a run, but yeah, not the best offensive game there for Barrett when everyone else was kind of feasting on that Spanish Fork pitching. The 1-2 count here is going to be tapped foul.
Seems like there is always that sacrificial lamb every time there's a high-scoring game. There's got to be the one guy. And in this case, it's Barrett in the 3-hole. Got to have that sacrificial lamb in order to put up double-digit runs.
Yeah, I mean, Laoke, typical, 4 for 5 game, home run, whatever. And Didi was 2 for 4, Wilcox 2 for 4. But, for some reason, unfortunately for Barrett, bit of a struggle here as the pitch misses up there, and it'll even the count here at 2-2. Laoke at first base after getting hit by a pitch. 1 out here in the top of the first. The 2-2 pitch here. Swung on and just right down that first base line. It is going to be foul. Great effort over there by Nielsen to scoop that up. But, yeah, just a foot or two past that foul line.
I think Spanish Fork would have definitely taken that out there. Get 2 outs. With how high-scoring yesterday's game was, just get the outs when you can. Absolutely.
I mean, it advances the runner to second. But, in a game, in a series like this where you've seen a lot of offense, you take the outs where you can get them. Another tapper foul. Looks like Barrett getting a decent read here on Scott, but maybe just a little bit early.
Yeah, definitely not seeing anybody getting blown away with any fastballs so far.
Again, 2-2 pitch here, upcoming to Barrett. That's going to be a pitch that I think was meant to snap back in the strike zone. Instead, it stays high. It'll move the count here to full on Easton Barrett. It'll be Ryan Didi due up next here for the Red Devils, one of the 3 that hit home runs in yesterday's ballgame.
In case you're wondering, Laoke on first does have 1 stolen base this season.
Strike 3. That's a great pitch there from Tegan Scott. Puts down a pretty dangerous hitter in Easton Barrett. 2 outs here now in the top of the first, and does bring up now Ryan Didi here for the Red Devils.
Didi comes into this one batting .316 in 20 plate appearances, or 19 at-bats. 6 RBIs. With the guys in front of him, he's going to have opportunities with runners on base, so that RBI count's going to be crucial.
Oh, laser right past Will Dart there. Excellent hit there by Didi. So he will get on base here with 2 outs. A 2-out single for Reed Didi, and it'll move Junior Laoke over to second base. So 2 runners on here with 2 outs on top of the first.
I always love that approach at the plate. Don't be afraid to swing on the first pitch. It could be the best one that you see the entire at-bat. And, after a long at-bat, the previous batter just jumped him.
Now up here is Trek Wilcox. Wilcox was 2 for 4 yesterday, and again, one of the guys that hit a home run in yesterday's ball game. Up in a big RBI opportunity here with 2 outs. Obviously, Springville would love to strike first here in this ball game. He's looking at a 1-0 count after that first pitch ball.
The thing I see with Wilcox, not the highest batting average, .269, but 10 RBIs.
Nice pitch there from Scott. Finds that inside part of the plate. Will even up the count here at 1-1.
Playing him pull side for sure here. A lot of room on the right side of the infield.
Yeah, basically, essentially in a shift here with Argyle just a couple feet away from second base. And he does end up kind of scooting back on over. This thing is going to be sent out into right field. Marziel camping under it, and that is going to be the end of the top of the first here. So 2 get on for Springville, but Tegan Scott able to limit and keep it from blowing open here. So puts up a 0 here in inning number 1 as we move on over to the bottom half of the first inning. Gives us an opportunity to thank our sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17. That's Lance Wilson, State Farm, 2 Jacks Pizza, MVP Sports, and Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Of course, we enjoy having you on here on Spanish Fork 17. We hope that you are also part of our YouTube family, youtube.com/Spanish Fork 17. Make sure to click that subscribe button so that you can stream all of the Spanish Fork and Maple Mountain High School sports to your heart's content. Make sure that you are being able to view all those. And so again, that's youtube.com/Spanish Fork 17. So we're moving on over to the bottom half of the first, getting a look here at the Region 9 standings. It looks kind of a little weird here because we're early in the season, but also because that Salem Hills Spanish Fork series essentially got canceled. That's why they've only got one game according to the standings here. But a strong season so far for Salem Hills and Maple Mountain, 8-1 and 8-2 respectively for them. 4-0 in region play so far for Maple Mountain, and Spanish Fork right now kind of in the middle pack there with Provo and Wasatch, and Springville really struggling so far in Region 9 play at 0-4, but still 4-7, so not in a terrible place. Provo actually being split there 2-2 in region, but at 8-5 in total in their total record is kind of interesting there.
Yeah, some weird records there. You've got some teams that are really struggling in region play but did pretty well outside of region play. This has just been an interesting season with how much the weather has broken things up. That's just going to be a huge challenge, especially for the pitchers, I would say, to, keep their rhythm, get on the mound, get their bullpen sessions in. And I think the teams that have taken care of that, have kept up with their training and staying hot this season, those are going to be the ones that you see have the most success.
And we're seeing Trevin Kelly get warmed up here for Springville. He will face the top of this Don's order that's been pretty dangerous here this entire season in Will Dart, Ian Applenep, and Seth Argyle.
Kelly comes into this one. He's got 3 appearances so far, a 3.59 ERA.
A guy that they've definitely leaned on for a decent amount of their pitching, as that one does go in there for strike 1 to Will Dart.
20 strikeouts in 13 and then 2/3 innings.
Certainly a guy that works quick here as well. Not a lot of breaks here in between pitches.
Is there
already getting used to that pitch clock. Yeah, yes. Adjusting early, even at the high school level, I guess. The 1-1 upcoming here to Dart. He's going to rocket that thing out to center field. Play is going to be made out there for out number 1. Nice play out in center field by Hunter Pereiro. That'll be out number 1 here in the bottom of the first.
Good first swing there, results in an out, but if we're seeing swings like that, contact like that, those are going to fall. That'll give Spanish Fork some good feelings to start this game.
Yeah, beautiful contact there by Will Dart, and obviously, he's a key part of this offense, the one returning guy that's an all-state guy, so they really lean on Dart to really ignite their offense. He's going to put swings up like that. It's going to be a good ball game here for Spanish Fork, which another guy that helps kind of run the engine here, Ian Applenep, now up at the plate. And 0-1 pitch up coming to him. He shows bunt, pulls it back, and we'll even up the count here at 1-1. Applenep with a nice game yesterday, was 3 for 5. All 3 of those hits were doubles. So guy with a little bit of pop, also with a little bit of speed, as he's going to dribble that one right to the shortstop, and he's going to be safe with an infield single.
Well, he showed the bunt in the pitch before, and then drops down a perfect swinging bunt in that situation. So different effort, same results, I guess.
Yep, gotta love that. Again, at the end of the day, it's all about getting on base, and so sometimes it doesn't look pretty, but the result is what matters there. And so it gets Appleknep there over to first base, and it brings up Seth Argyle now for Spanish Fork.
Argyle definitely been driving in a lot compared to his teammates. 8 runs driven in this season.
Argyle, one of the few Dons with a home run on the season as well. Did see one yesterday from Britt Nielsen. Love to see that for Spanish Fork, and that's a guy who's been struggling a little bit at the plate this season, so hopefully that ignites him and kind of gets him rolling. But Argyle's been a real staple here, usually batting in this 3-hole for Spanish Fork, and as Mac is saying there, I mean, yeah, he's been a great producer so far in this lineup for Coach Nelson. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Argyle. Kelly paints that outside corner for a strike.
Yeah, it's always a good sign for a lineup when your 3 or 4 hitter is leading your team in RBIs. I mean, it just, yeah, it's nice to have some other guys step up, but to have a healthy lineup, you really want those 3-4 hitters doing damage, getting runs driven in. And as nice as walks are and, getting on base, if you want to have success in those spots, you got to swing the bat.
He certainly has been producing so far for Spanish Fork, and that is going to be fouled away. So we'll move the count here to 1-2. Be Riley Lamson due up next here for Spanish Fork. Ethan Dorr would be after him. Good lead over there at first base by Dart. They have been keeping real close tabs on him. A couple of pickoff moves already. Really does have a massive lead. Decent jump. Argyle slaps that one over to second. Double play opportunity. Nice job there by Dart to slide in there and kind of break that up. So it'll just be a fielder's choice here. So Argyle will be at first base, and they do get Appleknep out over there at second.
Yeah, good job there for Springville, just getting in out. Would have loved to have got 2 for sure, but like we said, get the outs when they come in this game. But so far, the offense is a little timid so far. Not seeing any big shots yet. Oh.
Lamson sends this one out into left field. It is going to drop down for a base hit. Just kind of finds a nice little spot there in the grass, so it'll move Argyle over to second base, and Lamson now on with a 2-out single.
From what I see, it looks like the wind is blowing in from left field, which I think really knocked that ball down. I don't know if it would have been caught without wind, but definitely that ball went a lot shorter than it looked like it was going off the bat.
Yeah, off the bat, I thought it was going to go quite a bit deeper, but yeah, it looks like the wind definitely knocked that one down, and probably helped in this case, as Mac is saying. Yeah, it kind of went to shallow left field, where I was thinking more, like middle, and the placement of it probably would have been a place where it would have got caught. So Mother Nature helping out a little bit, I guess.
Sure. That's like any time you go to, I don't know if if you go to a professional game, college, whatever, and the first few flyouts look like they're 15 rows deep in the first, couple innings of the game. And the crowd goes wild on a can of corn.
And then eventually their eyes get adjusted, and they figure out, that's not going much of anywhere.
7th inning comes around, and it's like, all right.
Nothing doing there. His count is now even up here on Ethan Dorr. Dorr DH-ing today here for Spanish Fork, one of the Dons that was on the mound yesterday against Springville. That thing is going to be sent out into center field. Pereira will camp under it, and that will be the end of the first inning. 0-0 here in this matchup between the Red Devils and the Dons. We'll get you inning number 2 when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
If you're looking for a workout, you know MVP Sports is the place to start, and that includes pickleball. MVP Sports has all you need to get active in this growing sport. Paddles, shoes, clothing, and the pickleballs. MVP Sports in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
folks. Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17. We are in inning number 2 of this matchup between the Spanish Fork Dons and the Springville Red Devils here at Nelson Field. And again, this is game number 2 of this 3-game set here between Region 9 foes. Spanish Fork taking game number 1, 11-9 yesterday. And things looking a little bit quieter here today after inning number 1.
What the heck? I was promised offense in this
Absolutely,
game.
yes.
Jeez,
yeah,
11-9 here.
Yeah, that's only if we're completely honest, so that's why most people come out to the ballpark. I love pitching. I love pitching. Please, I want to make sure that that's important. But yeah, I mean, people love seeing offense, you know, and we definitely got a treat yesterday with that 11-9 game. But both pitchers kind of settling in a little bit. Both of them had traffic, both ending up stranding 2 runners on base at first and second, but both working their way through and putting up a 0 on the scoreboard. So after 1, it's 0-0, but plenty of ball game left here, Mac, to be able to see some more runs.
For sure. And one thing I've seen just based on the first inning, a lot of contact made. A lot of contact made in the first inning for both these teams. So I think defense is going to be a crucial aspect of this game. And, so far there's been a double play that could have been turned but wasn't. But, no errors there. But defense is going to be key.
That's a quick 0-2 hole here on Hunter Pereiro, the center fielder for the Red Devils. 2 quick strikes here by Tegan Scott. It'll be Pereiro, Brooks Thorpe, and Ashton Tate due up here in this inning for the Red Devils. The 0-2 pitch going to be high and tight. So the count will now be 1-2 on Pereiro. High and tight again, just trying to find that sweet spot, but not quite finding it there is Tegan Scott, so evens up the count here at 2-2.
Pereiro, 345 hitter, but 6 walks coming into this game, so it
rings him up. That's a beautiful pitch by Tegan Scott. Gets Pereiro looking, and that's a guy that you were just saying, very patient batter. So
I was just about to say, very patient, not afraid to take it, to look at a pitch, and looked at one too many on that one.
To Pereiro's credit, looked a little outside to me. I don't want to, I'm no umpire, but that's a tapper there that'll be eaten up by Peterson and then thrown way beyond the glove of Nielsen. Nice job of getting to that one to prevent Thorpe from advancing, but Peterson ends up airmailing that one a bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm talking about right there. It looks like we're going to have a lot of balls put in play. Now, so far, Scott for the Dons, he's had a couple of strikeouts, but both pitchers had a lot of balls put in play. Defense, and they haven't been hit hard, but defense is going to have to make plays, and didn't make one right there.
So I do bring in a speed up runner here for Brooks Thorpe as he's catching today. And up at the plate, rocket shot, and that's going to be a double play opportunity here for Spanish Fork, and they turn it. Oh, that is some fantastic defense there. Argyle gets it over to Dart. Dart with a nice spin move over there at second base, throws it on over to Nielsen, and that is going to be one of the quickest top of the innings you are going to see. Very quick work there by Tegan Scott, able to induce the ground ball there, double play ball there by Ashton Tate, and that is going to be, like I said, the end of the top of the second here as we move on over to the bottom half of the second inning. Gives us an opportunity to thank our sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17.
Yeah, we want to salute and put a spotlight on Lance Wilson State Farm, 2 Jack's Pizza, MVP Sports, and of course Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Special thanks to our sponsors today.
Yeah, beautifully turned double play there to end the top of the second inning. Yeah, just a rocket shot there by Tate, but defended nicely there by Spanish Fork. I want to remind you that our next broadcast is going to be not this Thursday, but the following Thursday, April 20th. That will be at 3:30 p.m. It will be the Spanish Fork Dons up against the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles, the inner city rivalry, as you will. Always love airing the Dons and Golden Eagles games. We are planning on giving you the Thursday game as well as the Friday game. The first of these matchups will, of course, this one that we're showing here on the graphic will be at Maple Mountain. The one on Friday would be here at Spanish Fork. So make sure that you've got your calendars marked for the big weekend, because this is a big one for both teams. Maple Mountain hoping to continue rolling with their pretty incredible season so far, 8-2, and sitting at number 2 in RPI so far. And so, yeah, this is going to be a big matchup for both squads.
Yeah, and I know that Spanish Fork's off to a little bit of a sluggish start, but let's not forget one thing about this matchup between these two schools. Spanish Fork is out for some revenge also.
It gets weird.
Yeah.
And yeah, they are absolutely out for revenge.
Yeah, I mean, with what happened last season, there's no love lost for sure. And I know that a lot of players have moved on, especially for Spanish Fork, but that history sticks around and it becomes part of you no matter what year in school you are.
Yeah, I mean, to go into the state playoffs as the number 1 overall seed.
Yep.
And feel like you're kind of in cruise control, in a good place to at least get to the championship game, and you feel pretty confident that you're going to meet Lehigh there, and you've done a good job against Lehigh earlier in the season. Just to trip up in a 3-game set against your rival who came in number 18 in the playoffs, and come back in dramatic fashion. Oh yeah, the Dons have circled that series and said, we need this one.
Oh yeah, and that was if I recall, the last 2 games, right? It was 3-game series.
It was.
Last 2 games.
Spanish Fork won game 1 and won it fairly easily too, and looked like they were gonna just kind of move on forward, Maple Mountain, whatever. But then, good job by the Golden Eagles to rally and to win that series. My goodness, that was some of my favorite games. Like probably my favorite broadcast I've done on Spanish Fork 17 was that game 3. It was magical.
Yeah.
So the count is 2-1 here on Britton Nielsen. Nielsen with the big game yesterday, had a home run in that one. Really hoping that sparks him and really gets him flying here for the rest of the season. Nice patient approach here by him so far, with the count now 3-1. Going to shoot that one down the third base line, but foul. So the count is now full on the Spanish Fork first baseman. Following Nielsen, it will be Cal Nielsen and Tegan Scott here in the lineup for Spanish Fork. The payoff pitch is going to just miss inside, and Nielsen will find his way on over to first base, taking the walk.
So far, Spanish Fork doesn't seem to be getting fooled much by Kelly on the mound for Springville. A lot of contact made, no strikeouts, a couple of pretty well hit balls in that first inning, and then starting this one off with a leadoff walk.
So Cal Nielsen at first base after the walk. Britt Nielsen at first base. Cal Nielsen currently now up here for Spanish Fork. He's going to take that one outside for strike 1.
Cal Nielsen, another bat that's trying to get going here. A lot of time left in the season, but, you need that bottom half of the year order to step up as well if Spanish Fork wants to put a few more W's in the column.
Nielsen shows bunt, puts down a pretty good one. It will advance Britt Nielsen over to second base, and the sacrifice executed well there by Cal Nielsen.
Yeah, I mean, that's a team player right there. Put down a great bunt. It's exactly where you want to put it there. Nice little push bunt to the left side of the pitcher. And his teammates in the dugout show him some love.
Yeah, it's not the glory play in baseball, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But a good bunter is always appreciated by the rest of the team. Oh, and that pitch is going to be behind Tegan Scott for ball 1. Oh my goodness.
That's a tough one because you're just so used to when you're in that box. If a ball is coming at you, your instinct is move back.
Move back. He moves back. It nicks him in the butt. Right.
Yep.
Here comes that 1-0 pitch here, and then it goes to essentially the other batter's box for now a 2-0 count.
Yeah, the coaches for Springville are going to want to keep an eye on this one with Kelly. 2 very wild pitches in a row. Like you said, opposite sides of the spectrum on that one. Right batter's box, left batter's box. See what he does here.
2-0 tries to find that inside part of the plate. Good idea there. I think throwing the breaking ball, hoping to throw something a little bit different, but still ends up missing there. So a 3-0 count now here on Tegan Scott.
I think it's 1,000% got to be a take here.
Absolutely. And nothing doing there pretty much. So count now moving to 3-1 as Tegan Scott definitely was waiting to make sure that Kelly was going to throw him something. Now 3-1, potentially a little bit more aggressive here. And he does exactly that. Slaps one out into shallow center field. Nielsen is going to make his way on home. That's going to be the first run of this ball game. Tegan Scott helping his case out on the mound with an RBI single to get the scoring going here in this game. 1-0 now after the RBI single.
Yeah, just always love to see that. I mean, as a pitcher, and I know in the professional level we don't see it as much anymore, if at all. But as a pitcher, you're on the mound and you get to put the first run on the board or give your team a lead. That's a good feeling, and he'll probably let his teammates know about it.
Oh, absolutely! It's like, oh, hey, like anyone else want to hit?
He's thinking he's Shohei Ohtani
absolutely,
right now.
the one-man band.
Oh yeah, but it was a good approach too. I mean, everybody always says it, but you just love seeing a ball hit up the middle, right back where it comes from, even to that right center side, which he put it in. Wind kind of knocked it down again too, and it's a good ball to put it's a good day to put little soft liners into the outfield with how much the wind's knocking them down.
Yeah, probably not going to see the 4 home runs that we saw in yesterday's ball game.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's okay. You can still produce plenty of offense without it going over the fence. So it is all good as the count moves to 1-0 here on Cal Marzial, number 9 hitter in this Dons lineup.
Yeah, and it seems like the coaches might even be aware of that too. This game is looking to be more low scoring because we've seen a couple of bunt attempts, a little bit more small ball. They seem to have a feel for how this one's going.
The 2-0 pitch up coming here from Kelly. And Marzial got fooled by that one as he was backing away from it. Instead, it's a curveball that snaps back in the strike zone for a strike. Well, tried to repeat it, but ends up missing by just a bit. So nice hitters count here, 3-1. In view of Tegan Scott over there at first base. Actually, no, that's a speed-up runner for him. That was number 12. So now that's going to be a walk there for Cal Marzial. So it is Jackson Sorensen that's speed-up running over there at second base for Tegan Scott. Obviously running for his pitcher makes some sense.
Yeah, a little bit of control issues here. 2 walks in the inning now.
Number 6,
Kelly.
Will Dart.
That off-speed pitch is, it just doesn't quite have that release point right. It's kind of inside a little bit to these right-handed hitters. He's fooling them with it, but it's just not, see, just like that. Fools them with it, but a little inside. Got to make a slight release point adjustment.
Yeah, that was really just a perfect example of what you're talking about. Gotta love it when the pitcher does what you want him to do. He's going to miss low and outside on that one for ball 2 there to Will Dart. Dart hit a rocket out to center field in his first at-bat that was caught. Would love to see him make some more hard contact here with runners on first and second. And as your leadoff guy, you don't always get RBI opportunities quite as much. But Will Dart, a guy that when called upon, he absolutely can bring some runs in. So watch that one for a strike.
Yeah, see, that's the pitch right there. That's, I don't know if it was perfect location, but could still tell. Looked like a fastball count. He fools him, gets the strike called.
Misses high and tight there with that particular breaking pitch. So count now moving to 3-1 here on the Dons shortstop.
I might like to see Kelly slow down just a little bit. I look down and look up, and he's ready to throw his next pitch. Take a breather, slow it down.
Dart sends this one out into right field, kind of tailing away from the right fielder, dives for it. Oh, man, excellent effort out there in right field by that's Reed Dede out there, laid out for that thing and just misses, making a spectacular catch.
Yeah, that wind took that one further to the right as well. That was a tough one. Off the bat, it looked like it was almost hit right to him, just a little to the right fielder's left. But, man, he had to dive all the way in foul territory. Yeah, again, getting a little jeers from our producer, Pete, saying that
Kelly really working that pitch clock mentality already, and yeah, you can just see it for him. It's just like, man, it's okay. Take a breather, get yourself set up. Instead, he's now issued 3 walks here in this inning.
Yeah, and he's frustrated with himself too, slamming his hand into his glove. He needs a visit here, and that's exactly what he's going to get.
Yeah, definitely a good call here by the Springville coaching staff to go talk things over with their pitcher, see what's going on with him, and probably tell him similar advice to what we were just saying here on the broadcast is take a breather, figure things out, get yourself kind of refocused, and really focus on the strike zone and getting yourself into places you can be attacking these Dons hitters.
Well, if the walk to the mound was any indication, that he's trying to buy him some time, because that was a slow stroll to the mound. But, it's an interesting point that we're kind of talking about with this pitch clock, in the majors. And, I think that's one of the side effects that people don't talk about as much with implementing that pitch clock is that pitchers get tired. When you have to constantly, within 15 to 20 seconds, get a pitch out, pitchers are going to wear out a little bit sooner. But overall, I think that's actually good for the game. I would rather see pitchers, have to burn out their stamina as much as possible and, empty the chamber and then go to the relief pitchers afterwards.
I mean, it's certainly where the game's been trending anyway at this point, is that ball's going to miss high there to Ian Applenep. I mean, you're mainly usually seeing pitchers pitching, 5 innings, 6 innings. You're not seeing the ace that comes in and pitches the complete game as much anymore. So, I mean, I think the pitching clock certainly plays into that. And, you're going to see a lot of relief pitchers anyway. So, as well.
Why not? Yeah, let's get them out there.
So 1-1 count here to Ian Applenep with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the second inning, and that's going to be another one of those breaking pitches that tries to find its way into that inside part of the plate but misses again. Yep. So Sorensen at third base, Marzial at second, and Dart over at first, and another nice pitch there. Yeah, that's a great pitch from Kelly to even the count 2-2. Scott able to get the RBI single in the bottom half of this inning here to get the scoring started. That's going to be a little tapper there by Applenep that will go foul.
Looks like it could have been ball 4 from my perspective, but at least he stays alive there.
That does a good job to get a piece of that one. Big spot here from the number 2 hitter in the lineup. 2-2 pitch. Sent out into right field. It's tailing back. It's going to land for a base hit. And they will send him on home. Yeah, that's kind of a dangerous situation there. That's the one fear with it getting out in the outfield, especially where it was at, too. Not really in a place where it was an easy sacrifice fly spot. So Sorensen kind of has to wait around to make sure that he's not going to get thrown out.
I'm telling you, I think they had a shot there. But they must have given up on it if the first baseman there for Springville grabs that and throws a dart to home. They might get the force out on that play, but they played it safe. Run scores.
That one's going to miss there for ball 1 to Seth Argyle. Now a 2-0 ball game here after the sacrifice fly by Applenep. Not a sacrifice fly, it's a single.
Yes,
my apologies. It really felt like it should have been, but oh man, yeah. So RBI single there for Applenep.
Now I know we're getting to the meat of the order for the Dons, but man, there's been a few balls that have fallen in front of some outfielders. That one goes foul. A few balls that have fallen in front of outfielders, and the ball's just not flying today. And I'm wondering if we're going to see some adjustments here for both sides to bring these outfielders in a bit. But again, we're now to the 3-4 hitters for Spanish Fork.
Guys that can certainly put a charge in the ball as Argyle takes a nice healthy cut at that one, and count now moves to 2-2. 0 for 1 on the day, hit into a fielder's choice in the first inning. Ended up getting on base and got stranded there at second. And be low and outside, so count now full here.
I'll admit, a little surprised to see the entire infield in this early. I mean, we're only in the second inning. Things have not avalanched on Springville yet, but they might be starting to now.
Yeah, walk number 4 here in just this inning for Trevin Kelly, and it's going to walk in a run. Marziel scoring on the bases loaded walk here by Seth Argyle. Score now 3-0 Spanish Fork.
And that's something I've seen a little bit more in all levels of baseball right now, bringing infielders in early in the game.
Rocket shot right at the third baseman. They will go home with it and try to get over to first as well.
But what do I know?
And we're going to turn. That's a fun little double play there as they go home for the first and then go over to first for the second out. So that kills the rally there. But 3 runs scoring here in the bottom of the second for Spanish Fork. 3-0 ball game. Dons over the Red Devils. We'll get you inning number 3 when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
Surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
Contact State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
Hi, welcome to 2 Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to 2 Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
Hey folks, welcome back to Spanish Fork 17. It's been a fun one here so far through 2. Inning number 3 now upon us between the Spanish Fork Dons and the Springville Red Devils. The score is 3-0 after a nice offensive inning for Spanish Fork, getting 3 runs across. But more than anything, it felt to me like it was more Trevin Kelly just really kind of struggled on the mound there in inning number 2.
Yeah, and you got to give a lot of credit to Spanish Fork there. You know, you saw it early, Andrew. You know, he threw one pitch in the right-handed hitter's batter's box. The next pitch goes in the left-handed hitter's batter's box. And Spanish Fork saw that, and I think they, whether the coaches said it or the players did it themselves, they took a very different approach in this inning, in this last inning, taking a lot of pitches, letting Kelly get them on, and let him make mistakes.
The second baseman, number 6, T.J. Whittison.
So it's T.J. Whittison digging in here for the Red Devils. It'll be number 9, number 1, and number 2 in their lineup here in inning number 3. Whittison to be followed by Trent Ash and Junior Laoki. That's going to be well outside there for ball 1 to Whittison.
I have that right? 1 hit in the last at-bat for Spanish Fork?
Yeah, it was kind of a crazy second inning there. Yeah, I've got 2. Tegan Scott with an RBI single, and then also Ian Applenep with an RBI single in that one, and then the bases loaded walk by Seth Argyle.
We keep getting fooled by Applenep's single in right field since it looked so much like a sac fly the way that it was played.
It just felt like it. Oh my goodness, yeah, duck away from that chin music. My goodness. Sometimes baseball is just it's avoidance skills almost more than anything else, as the count now moves here to 3-1 on Whittison.
See, I like seeing this, and of course every pitcher is a little different, but I like that Nielsen there, he's not waiting around, goes right to his pitcher after that one gets away from him. You know, be proactive. I think in the last inning, when Springville was on defense, we saw them get a little apathetic out there.
Yeah, I definitely love that Nielsen was willing to go talk to Tegan Scott, be like, oh hey, like let's settle things down here before it gets out of hand, which ends up issuing the walk here to Whittison to start things off here in the 3rd inning. But you hope that the mound visit, gives him some time to think about it, digest it, and be able to refine the strike zone here as the top of the order comes back up here for Springville. So Trent Ash 0 for 1 on the day, grounded out in his first at bat. They're going to throw it on back over to first. Nice job there by Nielsen to pop up and make a good throw over there to first. It'll be an 0-1 count here on Ash.
As far as I see, no stolen bases from Whittison this season, but obviously the Dons got their eyes on him. Pick off now.
Yeah, they're definitely worried about him. I mean, looking at him, he looks like a fast kid. So I could see it.
Faster than me, I'm sure.
Yeah. My 40 time is unrecorded. We'll just put it that way. And he is up and going to second base. But, Ash gets a piece of that one. It'll move the count to 0-2.
course, the big thing nowadays they talk about is, catcher pop time. That's a big one. Coaches will go and practice, time their catchers, their time that their glove hits the ball hits their glove, and time it takes for them to get it to hit the player at second's glove.
Big swing, another foul ball there by Ash. Yeah, so if you're wanting to be a catcher, folks, get some squats in. Get some big, powerful thighs that'll let you pop up quick and make that throw over to second base.
Yeah.
So 0-2 pitch upcoming here to Ash. He's going to watch that one go low and outside. Nielsen does a good job of scooping that thing up and not letting it get too far away. Count moves to 1-2.
As important as pop time is and all that, I think what we have to remember is most underrated aspect of stealing bases is timing. Timing of the runner, timing the pitcher. That's why as a pitcher you got to vary your looks, vary your pickoffs. See, there you go to first. Don't be afraid to pick off again here, and slow it down. You can, like we said, there's no pitch clock here, so you can stare at that plate for a good while and see if you can get a runner off his timing.
The 1-2 just misses. It'll even up the count here at 2-2. So again, Whittison at first base to start things off here in the top of the third for Springville. Got a leadoff walk and has certainly threatened to get himself over into scoring position. Man, and you just see the wind blazing here. It's going to be just a little sneaky ground ball that gets past Argyle and out into the outfield for a single here for Trent Ash. So quick start here to this inning for the Red Devils, getting the leadoff walk, and now a single here for Ash. So 2 runners on with no outs.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm thinking Argyle just didn't quite see that ball off the bat. His reaction was just a little delayed on that. Still would have been a bit of a tough play, but an easier dive attempt to get that one, but just didn't quite see it off the bat. Cost him there.
Junior Laoki now in the batter's box here for Springville.
Yeah, take your time here.
Please take your time.
Think this one over. Didn't take much thinking last time he was up.
It didn't. One pitch, boom, plunked him right in the back, which you hope that doesn't happen again.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not a proponent of guys getting hit by a pitch, but it is one way to deal with a very dangerous hitter. I mean, just his stats they're not even video game stats. Yeah. They're above video game stats. Yeah. They're crazy.
Yeah, for sure. And you see with Loaki up here in the 2 spot, I know a lot of people think it's interesting putting your best hitter up in the 2 spot, but it's for situations like this. Get him up higher in the order.
He rips one right down that third baseline. That's going to be fair, and it's going to be bringing in at least 1 runner here. They do get the ball in fairly quickly. It'll end up being a double here for Junior Laoki. And that's exactly why, Mac, you have a guy like this up in that 2-hole.
They went after him there for sure, which, I mean, you can't blame them. No outs, 2 runners on. So, you have to go after him there. But, man, he jumped him. And yeah, having him in the 2 spot, it's a kind of a newer thing in baseball to put your best hitters up in the first 1 or 2 spots. But, where it really comes around as beneficial is towards the end of the game. They're higher up in the order. They might get an extra at-bat that they wouldn't have got if they're batting in the 4 spot.
I think that's a very smart analytical move. Again, obviously at the beginning of the game, you want your guys loaded up in that 3-4 spot. That's a first pitch strike there to Easton Barrett. But, as you get further into the game, it really doesn't matter anymore. It's just you're up when you're up, and the more opportunities you get with your best players, that's kind of what you're looking for. So I'm all about this analytic movement of getting these guys further up in the lineup.
Oh yeah.
So 1-1 count here to Easton Barrett. He struck out in his first at bat, up in a big situation here with 2 runners in scoring position. The ball gets a little bit away there from Tegan Scott, so count now 2-1 on the Red Devils designated hitter. Lawaki at second base. Ash at third. Foul ball that goes right over our heads here in the booth.
Wasn't too far.
It'll even up the count here at 2-2.
I did not bring my glove.
I did not either, but The window is open, so
yeah, my side's open.
Yes, that's true. That's
it's on
true.
me.
The 2-2 pitch will be slapped over to second base. Argyle grabs it up and sends it on over to first. And that will be out number 1 in the inning.
Needed that, still early. You'd love to hold on to the lead, but, this is a difficult situation here with this part of the order up, runners on.
Now batting number 4,
get out of this one with maybe a 1-run lead or tied.
Yeah, I'm actually a little shocked to there we go. That one's in there. My apologies. I was not paying attention as well as I thought I was. So Ash did score on that. I was about to say that was a long time for Ash to have not found his way home, but he sure did. And Lawaki now over there at third base. Swing and miss there from Didi. So we'll be evening up the count here at 1-1. So as Mac was saying, the score is now 3-2. So 2 runs here in this third inning for Springville. And that's starting to come alive here in this ball game.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that one just misses that inside part of the plate. So now 2-1 count here on Didi. Shot right in between first and second base. Argyle dives for it, but it will get past him. That's going to be an RBI single for Reed Didi. And just like that, the Red Devils tie this thing up here in the third inning, matching that 3-run second inning by Springville, and we're all knotted up in the top of the third.
Good answer by Springville. That's Didi's 7th RBI on the season as he gets that soft roller through the right side.
And now be Trek Wilcox coming in for Springville, the number 5 hitter in this lineup. One of the guys that hit one out of the ballpark yesterday, but as we're saying here, with the wind as whipping as it is, probably not going to see that, as that one just kisses the outside part of the plate for strike 1. But a guy that can certainly make some hard contact, and that always plays.
Oh, yeah. That's what's been interesting about this inning, besides the one double from Milwaukee, has actually been a lot of soft contact.
Soft contact.
Yep. But, Milwaukee's was pretty impressive. That ball jumped off his bat. Third baseman had no chance on that play.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have access to exit velocity.
Yeah.
But I can tell you from the eye test that the exit velo on that was high.
Yep.
Nice throw there by Nielsen and guns him down. Oh, man. Beautiful throw by Cal Nielsen to get out number 2.
Yeah, that's a good job there for Spanish Fork. It was easy to kind of get lulled to sleep there, forget about the runner at first. Good throw. It kind of tailed to the right, but it was I don't know if he intended that, but it ended up being perfect. The throw kind of went into the runner, and a good tag applied.
The 2-1 pitch sails on him. Moves the count now to 3-1. Yeah, the ball thrown in a way that, it was just perfect. All Argyle had to do was just basically put his glove down.
Yep.
Oh, paints the corner there. That's a great pitch from Tegan Scott. Moves the count here to full on Wilcox. Instead, it'll be high and tight, and that's going to be another walk issued here in this inning by Tegan Scott.
A lot of pitches, deep counts, walks, some soft contact. But, just from judging from his body language, he seems to be handling himself all right. So good job there for Scott. Just keep his composure, tie game, get out of this inning. But he's starting to miss a little high.
Yeah, it does seem like he's just not quite planting as nicely as he was in the previous innings, and that's going to prompt the mound visit.
Yeah, walks. Both teams in this, in the bottom of the second, with Springville on the mound, and now top of the third, Spanish Fork. Pitchers not doing themselves any favors.
So an opportunity here to talk things over with his infield and with his pitcher. And pretty quick visit there for for the coach and with Tegan Scott. But yeah, nice inning here for Springville to tie this ball game up, and still threatening here with a runner on first base, and Hunter Pereiro up here for them. He struck out looking in his first at bat, one of 2 strikeout victims on the day for Tegan Scott. Currently sitting with that 1-0 count, and Wilcox over there at first base after getting walked. Will be fouled beyond the backstop here. It'll even the count at 1-1. Two outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. Score all tied up 3-3 between the Red Devils and the Dons. Little slow roller here over to third. Peterson gets it, throws it over, and they will say he's out. Excellent stretch there by Britt Nielsen. Must have got him by just a hair, as that's going to be out number 3. They get Pereiro down, but not before the Red Devils put 3 on the scoreboard to tie this ball game up here in the 3rd inning, 3-3. As we move on over to the bottom half of the 3rd inning, gives us an opportunity to thank our sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17. That's MVP Sports, Two Jacks Pizza, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, and Lance Wilson State Farm.
No Spanish Fork errors and 1 runner left on base.
Again, I want to remind you that our next broadcast is going to be not this Thursday, but the following Thursday. It will be the rivalry game, the Spanish Fork Dons up against the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. It will be a Golden Eagles home game there on Thursday, and we'll get you the following day's broadcast as well. That one will be back here at Nelson Field in Spanish Fork. Very key series for both teams, and again, one that we talked about in the previous inning. This is one that the Dons circled in highlighter red on their calendars with what happened at the end of the season last year.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of new players for Spanish Fork, but they know what's happened. They know what went on last year, and of course some players that were on that team. So I'm really looking forward to that one. I know that a lot of people will be watching on that one.
Yeah, so make sure that you're tuning into that one, whether on the actual channel or on our YouTube page, youtube.com/SpanishFork17. It's going to be a very fun series, and we're excited to be able to get you coverage of both of those games. Of course, we want to make sure that we get good coverage here of this ball game here, which has been a fun one so far. All tied up 3-3, heading into the bottom of the 3rd inning. It'll be Ethan Dorr due up here for Spanish Fork. He'll be followed by Britt Nielsen and Cal Nielsen. Line shot right at third base, goes on one hop and gets it on over to first. That will be out number 1. Excellent play over there at the hot corner by Trek Wilcox.
Yeah, well done. Took good balance, didn't rush the throw. That's the hard thing, I think, at third is, it's the hot corner, and it's so easy to rush over there. And, next thing you know, you're not getting into your throw, you're flat-footed. A lot of things that can go wrong, but that was great. Great pick, and took his time.
Nielsen crushes this one out in the left field. It's going to drop out there for a base hit. Love seeing that from Britt Nielsen. It looks like his bat's starting to really come alive here. Again, had the home run in yesterday's ball game. Now sitting here with a single here in his last at bat, and took a walk in the 2nd inning, so has been on base both times. So gotta love to see that.
Yeah, takes a lot of guts to do that when your teammate is retired on the first pitch to then swing as the next hitter on the first pitch, and he saw something that he liked, and it paid off.
He sure did. Nielsen also going to swing at the first one. It will be gobbled up over there by Wilcox. They'll get the out at second, and they will turn the double play. Just your casual 5-4-3 double play to end the inning. Wow, 3-pitch inning there, as you just said. Oh, my goodness. Wow, quick work there by Kelly to take down this Dons lineup here in inning number 3. It's all tied up. We'll get you inning number 4 when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
In the bottom of the 3rd.
If you're looking for a workout, you know MVP Sports is the place to start, and that includes pickleball. MVP Sports has all you need to get active in this growing sport: paddles, shoes, clothing, and the pickleballs. MVP Sports in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Hey folks, welcome back to Spanish Fork 17. It's inning number 4 of this matchup between the Spanish Fork Dons and the Springville Red Devils here at Nelson Field. Beautiful day at the ballpark. A little windy, a little gusty out there. As we've seen the flag out there flapping pretty hard in center field. Right now it's literally blowing directly in. And it's been a fun ball game here, though. We're all tied up here after 3 innings. 3 runs scoring in the second inning for Spanish Fork, and then Springville immediately following that with 3 runs in the third. As we get a nice view here of the flag just kind of whipping. Now it's kind of whipping a little bit more in the kind of like center to kind of right field area. But again, it's mostly been blowing in all day, and we've seen the effect of the wind on a lot of these hits in this ball game. A lot of stuff that's kind of landed more shallow in the outfield than we were expecting.
Yeah, they've been a little surprised. They still got those outfielders out pretty deep. Maybe a little deeper than I'd have them, but it's definitely a day where you're probably going to have some more success putting the ball on the ground. And honestly, thinking back to that last inning for Springville where they scored 3, a lot of balls on the ground.
Well, so now we talk about one that gets ripped out into the outfield, and it is caught out there by Applenet for out number 1.
Yeah, no, I mean, just thinking back to their last half-inning batting, and kept second baseman Argyle busy, got a few past him on some diving attempts. So keeping the ball low, keeping it on the ground, better chance to get on, it looks like today. But, we've had a few that have been hit in the air that have died and landed in front of a few outfielders.
I certainly have had plenty that have been in that kind of shallow outfield area. But, the best success so far has definitely been good hard hit balls on the ground. That one in there for a strike. That's a great pitch from Scott. Just kind of paints that inside corner on Ashton Tate. Moves the count to 1-1. This game now moving at a feels like breakneck speed here after a 3-pitch bottom of the third, and one of those pitches was a hit.
Yeah,
just kind of crazy stuff.
Yep. You don't see that too often. We had that shot of Old Glory out in center field there, the flag waving. Did you see the new Utah flag? Have you gotten a look at that?
I haven't seen the new Utah flag yet. No.
I gotta admit, I'm kind of an old-fashioned soul. I'm very traditional. I'm a big fan of it.
Okay.
It's got some great symbolism. It's got red rock, symbolism of the white peaks of the mountains, and it's got some good stuff.
That thing is sprayed out foul into foul territory. Dangerous play out there.
I think he caught it.
Oh my gosh! Yep, and that's just a casual defensive play by Will Dart.
If you want to know how difficult that catch was, we couldn't even see it. So
yeah,
that was way in foul territory. A long way to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down in a special way to make sure to note that one, because that is a marvelous play out there by Will Dart. I mean, he coming all the way from his shortstop position to make that play and having to make that over his shoulder too. Like, oh man, it's a beautiful play. That one fouled away there by TJ Whittison for strike 1.
That's what you want your shortstop to be, though, kind of fearless on those fly balls, take control, and you saw it. I mean, he didn't expect anybody else to get that ball.
That one sails by Scott, so even up the count here at 1-1. That one is going to miss outside, so I'll move the count here to 2-1. Whittison took a walk in the third inning and ended up scoring as part of that 3-run third inning for the Red Devils. Doing a nice job there in the number 9 spot to kind of keep the offense rolling. Heard some boos in the crowd after that particular pitch as the count now moves to 3-1. He's going to get a little piece of that one. It'll move the count now to full on the Red Devils' second baseman.
It's a big pitch here for Scott after that last inning to get a 1-2-3 in response. Your shortstop picked you up, made a great play in foul territory. See if he finishes him off here.
The payoff pitch is lined right at Peterson. It'll find its way underneath his glove. That's going to be a 2-out single for TJ Whittison.
Yeah, it's that tough in-betweener at third. He's playing a little deep on that one. I don't know if that was by design, but a little further back, and it's just that in-between where you don't know if you want to go up and catch it on the fly or if you should move back, get it on the hop, and just kind of ate him up there. Well hit ball, too.
Yeah, nice job there by the number 9 hitter in the Red Devils lineup to sneak that single underneath Peterson's glove. It'll bring the top of the order back up here. Trent Ash 1 for 2 on the day. We'll see that one on the inside part of the plate for strike one. Had a single in the third and grounded out to first base in his first at bat. So 1 for 2 on the day for the Springville shortstop. I'll throw it on over to keep Whittison close. He did got moving on an 0-1 count in the previous at bat here with Ash, and they certainly were keeping tabs on him at that point. I wouldn't be shocked to see eyeballs on him as well here. Rockets it over to Dart. Dart collects it, throws it on over, and that will be the end of the top of the fourth here. Nice couple plays here by Will Dart showcasing his range and his leather. And as we move on over to the bottom of the fourth inning of this tied ball game, we'd like to thank our sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17.
Yeah, once again, as you see there on your screen, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, MVP Sports, sporting goods for all seasons, Two Jacks Pizza, and Lance Wilson State Farm. We're zooming along now, bottom of the fourth, and once again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in here on Spanish Fork 17. Always a pleasure to bring you high school action. And this is Springville versus Spanish Fork.
So seeing Trevin Kelly getting warmed up here for inning number 4. I'm hoping to continue a fairly solid start for him. Got into some trouble in inning number 2, allowing the 3 runs, but otherwise has done a fairly decent job here. I mean, obviously you can't knock a 3-pitch inning, which is what he had in the last one. Maybe I'm making things up here, but you almost worry if that hurts him, barely throwing any pitches for the last 30, 40 minutes, it seems. But, if he can get 3 pitches, 3 outs, then I think I'll take it anytime. I certainly would.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm his defense, right. He's like, oh, okay, I barely had to do anything. Okay, well, cool. Let me get back in the dugout and get ready to hit.
Especially those outfielders, man. It can be so exhausting just standing out there in the outfield. You know how it is. But
I definitely do.
But it is true. As an outfielder, man, you got to keep yourself sharp. You got to. I like talking to myself, which is probably why I have this job. But that was why I liked being in the outfield. Was I was my best conversationalist. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, laughing at your own jokes because they're obviously amazing. So it's a fun time out there.
You can say anything about your teammates. They're not going to hear you.
Yeah. Sometimes your comments come a little bit out of left field, but that's okay, especially if you're in left field. But it's all good. As the count now here is 1-1 on Tegan Scott. He's going to send another one down that third base line. It will find its way into foul territory though, so count moves to 1-2. Scott with the RBI single in his last at bat in the second inning, also scored in that inning, so has been a big part of the offense as well as his pretty decent day on the mound. This one's sent out into foul territory. It will be out of play there, giving chase there, first baseman and right fielder, but that definitely tailing away with the wind giving it a little bit of an extra boost.
Well, the 3-pitch inning did not scare off the Dons offense. I think Scott here has swung at the first 3 pitches. Takes one there.
Does take that one in the dirt, so he'll even up the count here at 2-2.
So he did take one earlier.
He did take one.
Took one.
Right. But I mean, he's put some swings on some balls. That's for sure. The 2-2 upcoming here from Kelly going to be. I thought for sure that was going to be called a ball. Instead, it clips the outside part of the plate for strike 3. That's the first strikeout of the ball game here for Kelly.
Yeah. Scott definitely did not like that call, but he makes his way to the dugout. And you are right. First strikeout. That's something I hadn't quite noticed. So Springville's had to be on their toes a lot on defense. And then, of course, there's been a good bit of walks.
That one is going to be outside there to Cal Marziel for a ball. Marziel walked in the second inning and scored as part of that 3-run second inning for Spanish Fork. And, man, that outside part of the plate is very generous today for this particular ump as the count moves to 1-1. To be fair, Scott did benefit from a call that I thought was about as egregious in the strikeout of Pereiro. So, you know, the ump giveth and the ump taketh.
That's why you can't say anything when you're a pitcher or a catcher in that spot. You know, you just hope that they give you the same call.
That's right. This count now evens up here at 2-2 after Marziel fouls that one away. Due up next is Will Dart, so back to the top of the order for Spanish Fork after this. That one well outside. I'll move the count to full. Again, a little bit of a different ball game than yesterday's ball game. That one 11-9. Spanish Fork victory, so getting a very key Region 9 win and hoping to keep it rolling here as that one is going to roll foul by Marziel. It'll keep the count full here. And this is game 2 of a 3-game set here between the Dons and the Red Devils. The Salem Hills Skyhawks series ending up basically getting completely delayed by weather, as that's a fantastic pitch from Kelly. That breaking ball finds its way into the strike zone for strike 3.
No strikeouts to this point in the inning or in the game, and boom, just like that, 2 in a row, caught looking.
Yeah, that's one of the fun things about baseball. Just, patterns, what are those? And all of a sudden break just like that. It's now leadoff hitter Will Dart digging back in for his 3rd plate appearance, and he will look at that one for strike 1. Dart on the day 0 for 1, lined a shot out to center field that was caught and then took a walk in inning number 2. That one will miss inside. Moves the count here to 1-1.
Again, Dart coming into this one, a .333 average. You know, only 3 runs driven in, but the key here is 11 runs scored, you know, in that leadoff spot.
Yeah, he's really been efficient on getting on base, and this is just what he does, Mac. He gets you some nice hard contact and gets himself on base.
Yep. Beautiful job. We've had, there's been a few of those, just balls hit right up the middle, just nice and easy. And as we said, one on the ground, and isn't that kind of funny? Dart, first at bat of the game, hits a ball pretty well in the air, center field, it dies, and then in his 3rd at bat here, puts one on the ground and it finds a hole.
There you go. That's the scouting report for today, folks, by Mac Branning. It's keep the ball on the ground.
Yep, keep it on the ground.
Now up is Ian Applenet for Spanish Fork. He'll take the first pitch for a strike. Good game here for Applenet today. 2 singles on the day. Ended up getting thrown out at second base on a fielder's choice by Argyle in the 1st inning, but RBI single in the 2nd inning, kind of a little bloop single that ended up scoring a run as part of that 3-run inning. Dart took a big jump there. Kind of thought he might try to steal second, but it ends up being a ground out there. Nice play over there at 3rd to end the inning. So they strand Dart over there at first base. The score stays 3-3 after 4. We'll get you inning number 5 when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
For surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
Contact State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
Hi, welcome to Two Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
Hey folks, welcome back to Spanish Fork 17, inning number 5 of this tight matchup between the Spanish Fork Dons and the Springville Red Devils. It's all tied up 3-3. 3 runs coming across for Spanish Fork in the bottom of the second inning, mirrored then by the top of the third, 3 runs coming across for the Red Devils. Otherwise, goose eggs on the scoreboard for both teams as we're heading on to the top of the 5th inning. Tegan Scott getting warmed back up here for a 5th inning of work for Spanish Fork, and really other than, a rough 3rd inning, Scott's done a really good job here of limiting the damage and really controlling this Red Devils lineup.
Yeah, this game has been an illustration of how you can't have too early of a trigger finger or too quick of a trigger finger in baseball. Pitchers are going to have bad innings. They're going to walk guys on occasion. There's going to be errors. There's going to be base hits. And both these coaches, had a chance where they could have gone to elsewhere. And now, we're a little further into the game where we might see them bring out that hook. But they believed in their pitchers, and both of them shut down innings.
And it's going to be a difficult inning to get a shutdown inning here as numbers 2, 3, and 4 in the order due up here for the Red Devils. And that's the second time that Junior Laoki has been hit by a pitch. It must have just nicked his elbow guard.
It's a grazing, I guess, on that one. Wow.
So a very effective day at the plate for Laoki. He hit by 2 pitches and then had a just rocket double in that 3rd inning as part of the 3 runs that scored in that inning for Springville. But 3 times at the plate, 3 times on base, you'll take those numbers.
Yeah.
So Easton Barrett now due up here for the Red Devils. 0 for 2 on the day. Struck out in the 1st and grounded out in the 3rd. He's going to lay down a bunt. Scott will gobble it up, send it on over to Nielsen. And they will throw it over to second just to see, a little look-see, just in case. Laoki did come a little bit off the bag, so might as well as he kind of, talks it over with Dart a little bit, kind of having fun over there. Both guys smiling.
I guarantee the coaching staff's heart skipped a beat there when he threw that ball to second.
Oh, absolutely did. Like, wait!
It's a bit of a risky, very low reward, high risk throw there, but. No harm done.
That one will miss low and outside to Reed Deedy. 1-0.
Sorry. A good bunt there, by the way, too.
It was, yeah. Barrett laid down a nice one, just kind of squibbles there to really only Scott was going to be able to make a play on that, and it was, it had to make a good throw to get him out. So the 1-0 here upcoming to Deedy. He's going to laser one out to center field, and that is a good example of what's been happening today. Feels like it's a well-hit ball, and it just kind of hangs up there for Applin. That barely had to move for out number 2.
Yeah, that was Applin up in center, right? They've definitely got him. Just from my eye, it's a little interesting. They've got center field, I feel like, in, but right field is still pretty deep back there. But, so far hasn't played too much in effect. There's been a few that have died out in center field, though, so it's been paying off.
Yeah, very right-leaning lineup here for Springville, but even knowing that, it is kind of curious that you got
they got him
the
deep.
right fielder just sitting out there pretty deep. Yeah, Lamson playing basically in the middle of the outfield there, and with how things have been hanging, you'd think they'd bring him in a little bit more as that one is fouled away by Wilcox. So 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Saw a little bit of Laoki over there at second base after getting hit by a pitch. He's able to advance on a sacrifice bunt by Barrett. So in scoring position here with 2 outs. A 2-1 count here on Trek Wilcox. 0 for 1 on the day. Took a walk in his last at bat and flew out to right in his previous one in the 1st. And Scott will miss again just a bit outside. The count will move to 3-1. This game has been all tied up since the 3rd inning. See if someone eventually breaks that. Laoki on the move, and it's going to be a great throw. Oh, they're going to say he's safe. Oh, man. Must have seen a bobble over there because I felt the throw was there on time. Peterson must not have been able to lay down the tag cleanly, and it'll go down as a walk there for Wilcox. So it's going to be runners on the corners now with 2 outs.
I'm telling you, at least based off the reaction of Dart, he kind of had his hands up, wondering what happened. In fact, he's talking to the umpire right now. It was a little dusty, a lot of dirt kicked up, so a little hard for us to see the tag. But based on when the throw got there and then when the tag looked to be applied, it looked like he'd been out.
And that's going to be the end of the ball game here for Tegan Scott. Unfortunately, not going to be able to make it through this 5th inning. It was close. I mean, he was, looked like an inch away there, if anything, from being able to get that 3rd out. Felt like he had Laaki dead over there at third base on that stolen base attempt.
And we talk about how interesting of a call that was, too, to send the runner there with nobody was behind him. So, he was out there in second alone, and on a 3-2, taking off for third. That's a risky call there, and I guess it paid off.
Yeah, it definitely seemed odd in my book, but kind of crazy. So it will be a new pitcher here for Spanish Fork. Getting warmed up here to hopefully close the door here in inning number 5. It's number 1, Walker Evans, coming in for Spanish Fork.
Yeah, Evans, this is his 5th appearance on the season. Has 7 ERA. And 7 strikeouts and 8 innings pitched. So, once again, a small sample size.
He's definitely been one of the main relievers here on the season for Spanish Fork. Again, obviously making 5 appearances. This is a guy that they lean on pretty frequently to come out of the bullpen. He's got some pretty good stuff. Got to see him a little bit at the Red Rock Classic down in St. George. And, I mean, as you're saying there, in the 7 innings that he's pitched, he's got 6 strikeouts. So
8 innings, 7 strikeouts.
8 and 7, so there you go. So basically a strikeout per inning pitched. And so, I mean, he's a guy that's got some strikeout stuff, has a really nice fastball to go with some good breaking pitches, and so they like what he brings, especially when you're bringing him in alongside with Scott. Scott's stuff is good, but he's usually more of a control guy. But with Evans here, he's got a little bit more velocity on him, and so it's kind of a fun 1-2 combination for them. That first pitch is foul tipped into the glove of Nielsen for strike 1.
Yeah, I don't mind this pitching change. I think it's good timing. They've got a base open, and you never know whenever you bring in a reliever, it might take an at-bat to get that release point down. But he's got a base to work with here.
A 1 count swung on and missed. Also, I actually just saw make a gesture there. Also got a little piece of that one too. So Pereiro in an 0-2 hole here after swinging at these first 2 pitches by Evans.
Love seeing it. Being aggressive, going after the batter. You're that relief pitcher.
So runners on the corners here with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. Tie ball game 3-3. The 0-2 pitch sails away, and they're just going to go ahead and they're just going to let Wilcox make his way over to second base. No contest there.
Yeah, smart move, especially ahead in the count. 0-2 on that pitch. Now 1-2. No need to go after him. Have confidence in your pitching. Go ahead and get the batter here.
So Wilcox now at second. Lawaki over at third. The 1-2 will miss low and outside. So evens up the count now at 2-2 on Hunter Pereiro. Pereiro 0 for 2 on the day, struck out looking in the second and grounded out to third in his last at-bat in the 3rd inning. Up in a big situation here, hoping to put the Red Devils back on the scoreboard, retake the lead. He's going to foul that inside pitch up and away. And it'll keep the count at 2-2. Evans coming in relief of Tegan Scott here in this 5th inning. And the 2-2 pitch. It's going to be fouled away once again by Pereiro. Going to keep himself alive here, really giving himself an opportunity here to knock in these runs and for his team hopefully to take the lead for the first time in this ballgame.
Yeah, the runner at third there, Lawaki, moving around a lot. And
takes a little cut at that. They are going to say that he did not go through, so it'll move to a full count now on Pereiro.
And my point in bringing that up with Milwaukee on third is the pitch before that. I saw the pitcher there as he was delivering Evans on that throw. Took a peek over at third, and you just don't want that. I mean, you got 2 outs. Focus on the hitter here.
The 3-2 is in there for strike 3. What a great pitch by Walker Evans to shut the door on inning number 5. Strands both runners at second and third. Keeps the scoreboard clean here in inning number 5, getting all sorts of love from his team there as Walker Evans comes in, gets the outs, and moves this thing on over to the bottom half of the 5th inning, which gives us an opportunity to thank our sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17. That is Two Jacks Pizza, Triple T, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Lance Wilson State Farm, and MVP Sports. So Walker Evans able to come in and do his job, gets that last out, and keeps the powder clean here for Spanish Fork to keep it all tied up. Want to remind you that we've got our next broadcast will be not this Thursday, but the following Thursday on April 20th at 3:30 p.m. It will be the Spanish Fork Dons up against the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles, the rivalry game here on Spanish Fork 17. This is a big series for both teams as Maple Mountain absolutely cruising here this season at 8-2. And so the Dons not only hoping to exact revenge from last year's state playoffs, but hopefully put a little bit of a dent in Maple Mountain's pretty solid season so far.
Yeah, it's the narrative has swapped this year. Last year it was Spanish Fork who rolled through their schedule, rolled through region play. Maple Mountain kind of, falling behind again last season. Maple Mountain gets the upset in the state tournament. But this year, now Maple Mountain riding some great pitching. I know that Johnston, I don't know if you've seen him pitch yet for Maple Mountain.
I've not yet. I want to.
I saw him a lot as a freshman last year. And,
yes, he is.
Yeah, I mean, those lefties, man, I'm like, they are hard to figure out. I remember when I think I was in Little League probably, or early in high school, when I saw my first lefty pitchers. And I remember thinking, wait, aren't I supposed to hit lefties really well as a right-handed hitter? Like when does that happen? Because it's just a completely different arm slot, obviously, different location of the ball. It takes some adjusting.
Once you get adjusted, supposedly the platoon advantage is supposed to mean something. But, when you first see it, it's just different.
Oh, yeah.
As the count here is 1-1 on Seth Argyle. It's the heart of the order here in the 5th inning for Spanish Fork. Argyle, Lamson, and Dorr up here for the Dons. And that's going to miss well outside for ball 2. So now 2-1 count on Argyle. 0 for 1 on the day. Grounded out into a fielder's choice in inning number 1 and took a walk in inning number 2. That one also going to be outside, so moves the count to 3-1. Yeah, Johnston is a special pitcher. Obviously got to see him quite a bit last year calling games, and just the action that he has on his pitches is pretty great, as that one is going to be blooped foul. And giving chase out there is the third baseman, but runs out of real estate. So we'll move the count to full on Argyle. So certainly we'll be seeing him either Thursday or Friday as part of our coverage of that series.
Yep.
Obviously, the Dons lost a fair amount of key contributors from last year's team, as that one is going to be sent over to second base, and that will be out number 1 here in inning number 5. Little ground out to the second baseman.
There was a game last year with Johnston on the mound for Maple Mountain that I was able to see, and he pitched the entire game, gave up 1 hit, and let me tell you, his teammates celebrated like it was a no-hitter because they disagreed with the call of a base hit that was granted. They were, a little biased, I think. It was the right call, but still a great pitching performance.
Yeah, definitely always love seeing that. Again, we talked earlier in the broadcast about how we love offense, but a beautiful pitching performance is just as amazing, as that one tails into the strike zone there for strike 2 on Lamson. The count now 1-2 on the Dons cleanup hitter. 1 for 2 on the day. Hit a single in inning number 1 and grounded into a double play in inning number 2. That one of the rather interesting variety. Grounded out. They threw home and then threw over to first on that one. So kind of a weird way to turn a double play. And the 1-2 pitch upcoming here to Lamson. Swings and misses for strike 3. Third strikeout of the day here for Trevin Kelly.
Just a huge turnaround for Kelly. And, Scott was doing great for Spanish Fork as well, but ran into some trouble in that 5th inning, the top of the 5th. But Kelly keeping his composure here. He had a point earlier in this game where he looked like he could have cracked, but got that huge double play, and that just kept Springville in striking distance.
So with Tegan Scott coming out of the game here as the pitcher, they are going to move him over to designated hitter, and they're actually going to bring in Walker Evans here to hit here for Ethan Dorr. So 2-0 count here on Evans with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Watch that one for a strike. Excellent pitch there from Kelly. That will miss, and it will move the count now to 3-1. Nice hitter's count here for Evans. So comes in relief of Scott on the mound, and now coming in relief of Ethan Dorr at the plate.
Yep.
Big opportunity here. Hoping to spark a potential rally here in the 5th inning, get himself on base, and does exactly that. Takes the 2-out walk here in the 5th.
Well, yeah, with these 2 outs in the 5th, that was where Scott for Spanish Fork started to kind of, lose it a little bit. Of course, we're kind of late in the game and not going to have as long of a leash here in the 5th innings, but we'll see what Kelly does here in the same spot here with 2 outs in the 5th.
They do bring in Jackson Sorensen to speed up run out there for Walker Evans. Britt Nielsen digs in here for Spanish Fork. He's been on base in both of his plate appearances. Took a walk in inning number 2 and hit a single in the 3rd inning. See what he can do here in at bat number 3. And now the count 1-0. Kelly throws on over to first to keep Sorensen close. A very dusty jersey over there. Sorensen's slid a few times. The 1-0 here to Nielsen is going to be inside and is going to get past the catcher. Sorensen will take a nice long look and make his way back on over towards second base. But able to now get in scoring position here with 2 outs.
Yeah, look, extra base hits are going to be very hard to come by in this game with the way the wind is knocking the ball down. Getting over to second there, it's huge. Now you're looking at just a little dribbler, anywhere gets through, that run's probably scoring.
And Nielsen has hit one of those dribblers here in this ball game.
Yep.
The 2-0 just misses. That's been a spot that's been kind of a 50-50 call in my opinion. So
was a risky take.
Gets the ball there. It's count 3-0.
Might go green light here. Crucial run.
And he's going to nick the outside part of the plate for strike 1. That's an excellent pitch there by Kelly. Gives himself a chance here against Nielsen. Nielsen definitely crowded the plate on that particular pitch. He kind of crowds the plate a little bit anyway, but he basically was right on top of the line there on the batter's box. The 3-1 swung on and missed for strike 2. So now a full count here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Sorensen over there at second base in scoring position, hoping to be able to give Spanish Fork the lead once again in this ball game. 3 runs scoring in the 2nd for them, 3 runs for the Red Devils, otherwise scoreless. And that's going to be inside. They are going to throw over to third, and he is going to be underneath the tag. That was another kind of risky stolen base opportunity there. I'm not quite sure if that was. In fact, he's kind of getting, I think, a little bit of an earful there from his third base coach.
Yeah, I'm questioning myself. I'm like, am I missing something here? But that's back-to-back innings or at-bats for both these teams where we've had a guy take off on that steal with a full count, 2 outs. Man.
Yeah, that's just not your typical strategy. Yeah. I'm not going to say bad strategy, but I'm just saying not typical strategy. Right. You know, you like to send your runners running on the full count, you know, when you've got 2 outs, but it just felt like maybe in that moment, you know, the moments that they've picked have not been particularly great, but they've been able to get away with it in some ways.
And if anybody's wondering, you know, what we're talking about, well, why is it a huge deal? Well, with 2 outs at second, your chances of scoring don't go up that much higher when you're at third if the ball is put in play. With 2 outs, as soon as the ball is hit, you're taking off. No matter if it's in the sky or on the ground, you're taking off. It's going to be very hard to get thrown out at home when you're taking off from second. So there's not a lot of reward moving over to third with 2 outs. It's just incredibly risky, but I guess both teams pulled it off on very close tags, if I might say so.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Yeah.
And fortunately for them, it has paid off.
It has, yeah.
So runners on the corners here with 2 outs in this bottom of the 5th inning. This game is still all tied up. And that is going to be sprayed out into right field. And the play will be made out there. And this ball game will stay tied 3-3. Spanish Fork threatening here in the bottom of the 5th inning. But the runners will be stranded. We will get you inning number 6 when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
If you're looking for a workout, you know MVP Sports is the place to start, and that includes pickleball. MVP Sports has all you need to get active in this growing sport: paddles, shoes, clothing, and the pickleballs. MVP Sports in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17, folks. Inning number 6 of this matchup between the Spanish Fork Dons and the Springville Red Devils. Beautiful day at Nelson Ball Field. The ball game is all tied up 3-3. All 3 runs coming in half an inning for both teams. Bottom of the 2nd for Spanish Fork, top of the 3rd for Springville. Otherwise, zeros on the scoreboard. Kind of been kind of a weird ball game. I mean, all the runs coming in just those 2 little spurts, and it hasn't necessarily been like clean baseball necessarily. So it's just kind of been a fun, interesting ball game, very tight. And again, this is one that's really big for both teams. Really kind of needing to, for Springville. I mean, lost yesterday in a big offensive slugfest, 11-9, and would love to be able to sneak in a win here and potentially take the series. For Spanish Fork, if they could get momentum rolling here in Region 9, it would really help turn their season around.
Yeah.
And that thing is going to be sent out into right field. Lamson camping under it, and that's going to be out number 1 here in the top of the 6th. Brooks Thorpe flying out here for out number 1.
Yeah, this is a game that means a lot to both of these teams. Springville actually had a very good non-region play.
They did.
And now, if I recall, 0-4 to begin region play. So they're kind of trying to turn around, their region action, whereas Spanish Fork has only played 1 game in region, and so they're trying to get off to a hot start record-wise.
This thing's going to be sent out into left field. And the play will be made out there by Marziel for out number 2. So Walker Evans now in pitching here for Spanish Fork, and he's going to get 2 quick outs here in the top of the 6th inning after getting a very big strikeout of Hunter Pereiro to end the 5th inning.
It's always big when you come in as a reliever mid-inning, you get that out, but then they bring you back out into that next inning. You got to be careful, especially as a reliever who, they can get hyped up quite a lot. You got to be careful to not get too hyped up when you get that big out to get out of the inning, because you might have more work to do.
Count evens up now here on Whittison, 1-1. After that, pitch sails a little bit on Walker Evans. Oh. And the 1-1 is going to, that's going to hit him squarely on the arm. That's ouchie, ouchie.
Looks like he's got that elbow guard, which,
he does.
It seems like anytime you have some type of body protection on, it never hits that. But I think that one actually did get him there. So,
yeah, third hit by pitch of the day here for Don's pitchers. Tegan Scott plunking Junior Laoki twice, and then now Whittison getting hit here by Evans. It's not the favorite way to get on base, but it is a way.
Yes.
So that is going to be fouled away by Trent Ash. It'll be plate appearance number 4 for him on the day. Top of the order back up here for the Red Devils. 1 for 3 on the day. A couple ground outs and a single in the third inning. It was one of the Red Devils that scored as part of that 3-run third inning. The 0-1 from Evans is a beauty for strike 2.
Definitely fooled him there.
Evans, when his curveball is on, he's a really great reliever for Coach Nelson. I mean, he's got a really nice fastball, good velocity on it, but the break that he gets on his curveball is quite impressive. Up and running. It has been dangerous to run on Nielsen, and that is why. Oh my gosh, Cal Nielsen just absolutely guns down TJ Whittison, and that is going to end the 6th inning. Nice clean inning there for Walker Evans, other than that hit by pitch. As we move on over to the bottom half of the 6th inning of this tied ball game, we'd like to thank our sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17.
Yeah, once again, on your screen there, you see our sponsors, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, 2 Jacks Pizza, and Lance Wilson State Farm.
The second guy that's been thrown out today by Cal Nielsen, and really you could almost argue third person that's been thrown out. I still think, as you mentioned earlier, I think Laoki was out there at third base, but Cal Nielsen has been very impressive behind the mound here today. If you are a catcher, folks, watch what Nielsen has been doing today, and you'll know what you need to be doing behind the backstop.
Yeah, absolutely. He knows, just from what I can tell, he's got a real good understanding of how much his ball tails, and he just puts it in that perfect spot to where it's going to tail to the right a little bit, and it's going to be caught on that right side of that bag, of course, the side that the runner's on, and that's exactly what you want. His type of throw, I mean, it's the kind that you love as a middle infielder, that you can just let travel as far as it can, and the throw just takes you right into the sliding base runner. It's beautiful to see.
So nice view here of some warm-up pitches for Trevin Kelly, who's hoping to get in a 6th inning of work here for the Red Devils. Again, really has been really good. After that rough second inning where he just kind of lost control, ended up walking 4 guys in that inning, but after that, he's really been able to settle into a nice start here. Nice, really good, solid ball game here on the mound for Trevin Kelly.
You make a great point, because if you think about it, that one inning, tons of walks, I think you said 4. But have we seen him get hit around much? No, not really. I mean, it's been, little soft ground outs and putting the ball high up in the air.
Tegan Scott takes a nice healthy cut at that and will miss for strike 1. It will be Tegan Scott, Cal Marziel, and Will Dart due up here in inning number 6 for Spanish Fork. That pitch just going to miss inside. He'll even up the count at 1-1. 1 for 2 on the day. Tegan Scott hit a single in the second, struck out looking in the fourth. He'll look at that nice curveball for strike 2. That's kind of been the swing pitch, I feel like, today for Kelly. When his curveball's been on, he's been very effective.
Absolutely, yeah. In that, that inning that didn't go too well for him, giving up 3, he just did not have that curveball. It was missing the inside.
The 2-2, a one hopper over to second base. It is snagged up and thrown over to first for out number 1.
That was a good job there. The second baseman for Springville, that's Whittison, it looks like, who kind of got handcuffed there. But, the wonderful blessing of playing second base is you typically have got a lot of time there, so didn't rush it, made the play.
Especially when you're basically playing on the grass.
Yeah.
They're very deep.
Yep.
That one well outside for ball one here to Cal Marziel. Marziel 0 for 1 on the day, took a walk in the second inning. Was one of 3 Dons to score in inning number 2, and then struck out looking in inning number 4. Another one out into the left-handed batter's box. Count will move to 2-0 now on the Dons left fielder. And they're going to swap balls out there, looks like. Not quite sure what was wrong with it, but, obviously I don't have, insane vision to see, but something wrong with it.
Something I didn't like. Marziali here, he coming up here in his 6th plate appearance of the season, so not a lot of action so far for him. But as you mentioned, did get on earlier with a walk. So maybe now getting more at-bats, he might be getting a little bit more comfortable, seeing the ball well.
And certainly trending in that walk direction here, and that's exactly what he's going to get with the ball squirting away. And he's actually going to get on his horse, and he, I think, thought about it in the back of his brain, was like, I could maybe get to second. But nice job there to hold him up as he'll just go ahead and take that free pass over to first.
Yeah, I was wondering if this might be it. Today for Springville's pitcher Trevin Kelly, and it looks like it will be, and really good performance by him if they do pull him. Let's see. Yep, there he goes. So really great performance for him. As we've mentioned, got into some trouble there in 1 inning, but really cut down on the walks. Accuracy, got his release point down, and got very comfortable, got into a good groove, and wasn't rattled even when some base runners reached here or there. Very comfortable, and he was a little upset with himself that 1 inning with the 3 runs scoring, you could tell, and then he was cool as a cucumber the rest of the way.
So it'll be number 22, Ashton Tate, coming in relief of Trevin Kelly. Got through 5 1/3 here for the Red Devils. They'll bring in their southpaw out of the bullpen to come in relief of him. Hoping to be able to keep themselves in this ball game and give themselves a chance here to win it here in the 7th.
Yeah, Tate coming in now in his 6th appearance, and we were talking about tough lefties, and he's one of them. So in that 6th, or those 5 other appearances, a 1.05 ERA, and he's got 14 strikeouts in 16 2/3 innings. So doubling up those strikeouts per inning. Not a bad guy to go to right here. And as we were saying, the left-handed pitchers, it's just can take you a few pitches, a little bit of time to really get the feel for him.
And he'll be dealing with the top of the order here for Spanish Fork. It's going to be Will Dart that will be due up here, and then Ian Applenep. And so, he's going to have to deal with a couple of the best hitters in this Dons lineup right off the bat. And again, nice job by Marziel to just be patient and force Kelly out of this ball game. Just kind of looked like the command there, specifically on his curveball, which had been really strong in the last couple of innings, kind of got lost there. And so not probably a smart move here to pull the trigger and go ahead and bring in the lefty reliever, and we'll see what he can do here against this top of the Dons lineup. And for Spanish Fork, though, you have the top of the lineup coming up here, and you would hope that you got guys here in Dart and Applenep that can find a way to scratch across that 1 run that you need and give yourself a lead going into the 7th.
Dart has had 3 good at-bats. He's reached once on a little ground ball right back up the middle, hit hard, and then his first at-bat lined out to center, first at-bat of the game, and a walk, of course. So, his timing is there. Of course, facing a left-handed pitcher now, it's going to be a bit of a different look, but if he can keep that timing right up the middle, and in fact, it even looks like Springville is kind of shading him shortstop to go up the middle.
Going to be outside pitch there for Tate's first pitch. Count 1-0 on Dart. Very successful day at the plate. Successful season all around here for Dart. One of the key cogs from last year's team was a first-team All-Stater last year as a sophomore, and now getting in here into his junior year. Has a very impressive resume from his first 2 years here at Spanish Fork, and has continued that excellence here in his junior year. That one going to be upstairs, and it's going to be 3 straight balls here to Will Dart.
Yeah, man. I don't know if he's intentionally kind of pitching around him, but good job by Dart here, staying within himself.
The 3-0 to Dart is held up on, and it will just nick that outside part of the plate. Moves the count here to 3-1. Again, just 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning of this tie ball game. 3-3 between the Dons and the Red Devils. Marziel at first base after taking a walk, chasing Kelly and bringing in Tate. The 3-1 to Dart. Man, kind of finds a similar spot in that strike zone. Now a full count here on the Don shortstop.
Pitch looked like it had a little bit of movement on it, so risky call there on 3-1, but yeah, that was a good pitch.
Yeah, just kind of tailed its way back into the strike zone. The payoff going to be inside, and Dart will take the walk, his 2nd of the ball game.
Well, I mean, this has got to be it if you're Spanish Fork now. I mean, you got the guys up that you want. You know, tough lefty relief pitcher, but 2 guys on, 1 out.
Now batting number 4,
find some green grass and
off.
get a lead here before going into the 7th.
And the guy coming up here, Ian Applenap, who 2 singles already in this ball game, singled in the 1st and singled in the 2nd, did get out in his last at bat, grounded out to 3rd. That one is going to be inside for ball number 1 there to him.
Springville, I guess, expecting some bunt action here. They've got their first baseman, Lowacki, really playing shallow, but really mostly just Lowacki. 3rd base playing even with the bag.
Yeah, I think still hoping to maybe, if a normal ground out happens, to be able to tag the base. And he was thinking about it so much that it gets past him. They are going to send Marziel on home. The throw home will be late, and Spanish Fork takes the lead here in this ball game. Oh, just a little bit of overthinking, I think, over there by Trek Wilcox. Gets past him, and Spanish Fork takes the lead here in inning number 6. The score now 4-3.
I tell you, I think we saw a little bit of that thinking ahead there from the 3rd baseman Wilcox, because he knew they had that doubled play opportunity, which, man, I mean, you could not have drawn up a better ball on the ground there for Springville to get 2 with the 3rd baseman in, and just got a little ahead of himself. Think turned his head a little early.
Brings up Seth Argyle, and he's going to miss that one for strike 1. That one just kisses the outside part of the plate.
Yep.
Kind of an interesting call there to me, as it seems like the right side of the plate has been the generous side, and so man, that's going to nick him. That definitely got away from Tate.
Yep. Things just, well, obviously not going well for Springville, but a chance to really just avalanche on them as they're going to get a mound visit here. But hey, you know, good job by Spanish Fork. Applenap, who put the ball in play. I mean, wasn't the sharpest hit ball and wasn't put in the best spot, but put it in play and good things can happen.
Yep, sometimes you just got to make contact, and sometimes the defense is not gonna do what it necessarily you think it would, and that's actually going to be the ball game there for Ashton Tate. They will go to the bullpen here again. Opting to go with the righty. That is number 28.
It's like Braxton Hughes on the mound. The junior, 5'11".
Who'd have believed you'd come along?
So not the best of outings for Ashton Tate. Actually ended up not even recording an out as part of his relief appearance. And he allows the run to score, coming on an error, so it will not be counted as an earned run, but a run nonetheless.
For Braxton Hughes, this is his 7th appearance on the season, coming in with another low ERA, 2.21. Hughes with 6 Ks and 6 1/3 innings work. But not the situation that you love to come in for as a relief pitcher. Although, I don't know. Some guys are kind of crazy. They love coming in these high leverage stakes situations.
Yep. Some people absolutely thrive on it. As we're getting a little view of the booth here, always love being able to see that. Hello, here's the hand. Yes, we are here.
Window.
We are live. Yes, this is the open window. If ever a foul ball is to happen, we will have hands ready for it. But yeah, it's been a fun night. And obviously, I like having the window open because it is. We got a little breeze going on, makes it just a nice cooler environment, you know.
Sun's peeking out a little bit now. It's been a little overcast.
It has been a little bit, which has been unfortunate, but still, I will take this weather over basically all the other weather that we've had so far.
Take the last 5 months.
Oh my gosh! Even when we went down to St. George, it wasn't great. As Lamson ends up getting hit by a pitch, and that's going to bring in another run here for Spanish Fork. You don't necessarily see that one every day, so an RBI for Riley Lamson, the tough way, gets a little bruise for his accolades, but still.
I don't know what the coaches are seeing, so they might have had a reason to do it. But looking back on it, it's easy to second guess. But I'm a little surprised that they took Tate out there. I mean, he wasn't getting hit around. Very easily could have had a double play. Didn't work out. And instead they go with Hughes, and like I was saying, it's just not a great spot to bring in a reliever with bases loaded.
So Evans will watch a second pitch there by Hughes that will miss. The count is 2-0 on him. Again, after coming in relief of Ashton Tate, ends up hitting Lamson with the pitch, and now that's going to be missing again. So now it's 3 quick balls here to Walker Evans. It was a game that was all tied up here going into the 6th inning. Now kind of getting away here from Springville potentially. Does a nice job of coming back with a strike, though. So it'll be 3-1 now on the Spanish Fork pitcher. And it's inside. Ooh. Oh, my goodness. That one just clips the inside part of the plate, I guess. And now it's going to be a full count here on Evans. Thought he had the free pass and the RBI. Instead, he's got to dig back in here for a full count. He watches that one, and he will still get the free pass and the RBI as 3 runs have now come across here in this 6th inning for Spanish Fork. They double up the runs here on Springville. It's now 6-3 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Milwaukee at first definitely wanted the batter rung up on that one. He's raising his hands up in the air.
Now batting number 5, Britt Nielsen.
Certainly was close. I mean, if I was in the batter's box, I'd have been swinging.
Yeah.
But that's just how I am. But yeah, I mean, I think that was a good call by the ump. I do think it was a little high, and so I'm in agreement with that one. Big moment here for Britt Nielsen. He fouls that one away. Laoki giving chase and runs out of real estate, and it ends up landing in the Dons bullpen. Which you get to see that there is some action going on in the Spanish Fork bullpen. Yeah. So that's good to know.
Yep. Trying to give a sizable lead to their next pitcher coming in. Already got 3 runs on the board here.
And there are the rally caps, and they certainly have been in effect here in inning number 6. They've done their work. It's always fun seeing just the different weird superstition things that come up, but this one a big one for the Dons, basically piling on everybody's ball cap onto one guy.
I hope they have their number or their name on it.
Like your initials?
Something.
Don't want to accidentally be like, hey, this was Cal's hat. Like, what's going on here?
Yep. Let's hope none of them have lice.
Yeah, also that too. Yeah, I don't want to be spreading that around necessarily. Count now 2-1 here on Britt Nielsen. Bases are still loaded here for Spanish Fork, so really big opportunity should they be able to get one. Instead, it's going to be a play on over to home plate. They'll cut down the runner there, cut off the lead runner, prevent them from scoring. That's Applip. That'll be thrown out at home. So it'll be a fielder's choice for Britt Nielsen. He'll be over there at first base. Evans will move to second. Lamson will move to third. And now Cal Nielsen will dig in here for Spanish Fork with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th.
Well, that was why they've got in that situation. Springville had the corners in, so middle infielders playing back, trying to get that double play, but the corners in and get the out at home. could tell that the third baseman wanted. He thought about going to 2 for that double play, but, you know, you got the corners in for a reason there. Take the throw out at home.
This one sprayed out into shallow right field. The play is going to be made, and that is going to end the 6th inning. The bases will stay loaded, but the Dons do the damage they need to do, scoring 3 runs, giving themselves a 6-3 lead as we head on over to the 7th inning here on Spanish Fork 17.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
Contact State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17. It is crunch time here. Inning number 7 of this matchup between the Spanish Fork Dons and the Springville Red Devils here at Nelson Field in Spanish Fork, Utah. The sun finally peeking out and greeting us here for what hopefully for the Dons is the final inning here for them. They now have a 6-3 lead after 3 runs coming across in that 6th inning. Kind of in a weird fashion, a lot of literally guys walking in. Ended up being more of a bases loaded situation where they walked in a couple guys and they even had a guy that got hit by a pitch bringing in a run. So kind of a weird, wacky 6th inning, but for Spanish Fork, he will absolutely take it.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, we had talked about that when things have gone haywire for either team, it was due to the base on balls. We saw that play out in the last inning. Spanish Fork was at the plate, and also earlier in the game I mentioned that I think whoever plays better defense is going to pull out a victory here with how much the ball was being put in play. And in that last at bat, we saw Springville commit a costly error that could have been a double play, an inning-ending double play. Instead, it poked through the third baseman, and a run scores, a couple more runs coming in after that, and big moment in this game.
So coming in to close here is the Spanish Fork closer, Will Dart. Basically, he usually comes in with the lead most times here when Spanish Fork is up, and he's got some great stuff, and that is going to be strike number 1 to Trent Ash. It'll be the top of the order here for the Red Devils. Ash, Lawaki, and Barrett due up here for Springville. Dart pumps it in once again for strike 2, just kissing that outside part of the plate. And the sun actually now out with a vengeance here. Yes. That's strike 3. Whew. 3 straight just humdingers there by Will Dart.
I think he tipped it, actually.
Oh, he tipped it. He did, yeah.
Or must have, I guess. I don't know. It didn't look like any contact was made, but...
No, but yeah, must have got a piece of it, and Nielsen must not have been able to quite corral that in, so I guess there'll be another pitch here. And then instead will be slapped over to Peterson. He will try to make the throw across the diamond, and it will be late. So it's going to be an infield single here for Trent Ash.
That's big. Big start there. Not a well-hit ball, but advantageous for Springville. Springville hit slow enough. Now for Dart coming in, this is his 3rd appearance on the season. No runs allowed so far.
Yeah, he just kind of relishes the moment here of kind of being the Don's de facto closer, as, man, there's big distance there on that ball by Lawaki, deep out there into center field. It will be caught by Applenep, though, for out number 1.
That's a big out right there.
Yes. That's the big dangerous hitter in Springville lineup. To be able to get him to fly out to center is a very, very big deal there for Dart.
Yeah.
Easton Barrett now coming up here for... No, actually, that is Barrett. I thought for a second there that maybe they were pinch hitting for him, but nope, that is in fact Barrett. So 0 for 2 on the day. A strikeout or ground out. Did lay down a nice sacrifice bunt, and he'll take that one on the outside corner for strike 1.
If you're Dart here, now that you're past Loai, you really don't want to mess around here. Excuse me, that's Lawaki. Now that you're past Lawaki, best hitter in the lineup for Springville, No messing around. Go after these hitters. If they're going to get on, let them earn it.
Absolutely. Has the overpowering stuff to just go ahead and attack these Red Devils hitters. The 1-1 count just barely misses. I like the thought there, but yeah, just a tick off. Count will move to 2-1. Trent Ash led off the 7th inning here with the single. Lawaki flying out to center field. Another potential flyout opportunity here. This one quite deep out there. It is carrying quite nicely, and it's going to be off the glove of Aplanap. And Ash is going to have to cruise over to third base. Man, that one that's one of the few times that the ball's actually hung up here today. Easton Barrett getting a little bit of an advantage here with the wind calming down enough that it just kind of kept sailing out there in the outfield, goes off of Aplanup's glove and lands on the grass.
Yeah, that flag is a lot more stagnant than it was earlier, and that's what's tough is for Aplanap. Everything's been in front of you this entire game, and then just like that, this late in the game, you gotta get your tail deep in the left center field gap, and so maybe a little rusty, a little cold there because that ball hit his glove and it popped out.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate break there for the Don center fielder. It now puts 2 runners in scoring position with just 1 out here for Springville, and brings up Reed Deedy, the cleanup hitter, who is a guy that in yesterday's ball game hit a home run, which if he were to do that here right now, this ball game's all tied up.
It's as good of a chance as he can have right now with the wind dying down.
The 0-1 is sent out into center field. It is going to be shallow this time. Aplanep comes in on it, trying to prevent the sacrifice fly, and does exactly that. Does his job there, gets the out, and we've now just down to 1 out here for Springville.
Now batting number 2, Trek Wilcox.
It certainly would have been very risky for Ash to try to run in on that one, as that was pretty shallow out there in center field, but he certainly thought about it.
Yeah, absolutely. No need in taking a risk when you're down by 3 and when you're just 1 run at third. Just keep the inning alive. For Springville, they're going to hope for a few more hits.
Trek Wilcox digging in here for the Red Devils. He will watch that first pitch just a bit low and outside for ball 1. Wilcox on the day, 0 for 1. He flied out to right in his first at bat and then has taken walks in his last 2 plate appearances. That one's going to be sprayed foul. So a single by Trent Ash and a ball off the glove of Aplanep hit by Barrett, leading to the 2 runners in scoring position here for Springville. Now a 2-1 count to Trek Wilcox. Will Dart hoping to wrap this thing up here for Spanish Fork in this inning and give themselves a 2-0 lead in this series against Springville, give themselves their first 2 victories in Region 9 play, and really this just feels like a really big game here for Spanish Fork. If they can get rolling in Region 9, kind of help with the struggles that they had in non-region play to start the season off. If they can kind of course correct here in Region 9, that'll be a very big deal for them. And they've got some teams on their schedule in Maple Mountain, and whenever they potentially make up those games against Salem Hills to kind of move themselves up pretty good in RPI.
Yeah, big chance here for Dart to put the exclamation point on this game.
Now 2-2 count here on Trek Wilcox. And the pitch is a beauty for strike 3, and that's going to be your ball game, folks. Will Dart comes in and does his job as the closer, shuts the door on Springville. No runs across here in this 7th inning. The Dons will take this one on a score of 6-3. We'll get you a recap of this one when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
If you're looking for a workout, you know MVP Sports is the place to start, and that includes pickleball. MVP Sports has all you need to get active in this growing sport: paddles, shoes, clothing, and the pickleballs. MVP Sports in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
or surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
Contact State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17. Ball game is all done here between the Spanish Fork Dons and the Springville Red Devils. The Dons taking this one on a score of 7-3, getting 3 runs across in the 6th inning to go ahead and take the victory here. Win number 2 in this series against Springville, taking yesterday's game 11-9, and then hoping to get the sweep here potentially on Friday, which would be just a huge boon for the Dons, who came into this one struggling, really kind of struggled in non-region play, and now looking strong here with their first 2 wins in Region 9. And so really just a solid ball game all around here for Spanish Fork. Kind of a weird one, as we've been highlighting. I mean, the wind was blowing around. It just kind of felt like there wasn't a lot of hard contact in this ball game, but sometimes you got to win the weird ones.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, then for today, for Spanish Fork winning this one, there was a lot of different players that made an impact on this game, but for our MVP Sports MVP of the game, we're going to go with Ian Applenap, who played center field for Spanish Fork. Had a few putouts out there manning the outfield, but then most importantly, had a couple of base knocks. Also reached on an error in that last inning in the bottom of the 6th. Now, I'm still going to give him props for it because he put the ball on the ground, hit it pretty sharply, and had to let their, made their defense have to make a play, and they didn't. So runs scored on that one, and it allowed a couple more to score later. So Ian Applenap, who goes 2 for 4 with a run driven in and caused some chaos for Springville, you are our MVP Sports MVP of the game.
Yeah, congrats to Ian Applenap. Quick shout out as well to Will Dart. Solid game for him too. 1 for 2 on the day. Had a single, couple walks. Really was a good key cog in the offense, as well as coming in the 7th inning and closing the ball game on the mound for Spanish Fork. So really just a nice ball game for lots of Dons players here, but definitely, yeah, our big MVP Sports MVP of the game to Ian Applenap. Want to remind you that our next broadcast is going to be not this Thursday, but the following Thursday on April 20th at 3:30 p.m. It will be the Spanish Fork Dons up against the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. It is the first game of the rivalry series here on Spanish Fork 17. We will get you Thursday's ball game as well as Friday's ball game. Thursdays will be at Maple Mountain. Fridays will be at Spanish Fork. That is going to be just a huge series. Maple Mountain already cruising here this season, 8-2 on the year, number 2 right now in RPI. Really just having a phenomenal season, powered by their sophomore ace Chase Johnston. But for the Dons, this could be a turning point series for them here. If they can get the sweep here of Springville and then find their way to kind of rejuvenating themselves here in Region 9 play, this could be a very tough matchup here for the Golden Eagles.
Hell yeah, I can't wait. I mean, it's a rivalry matchup, so anything can happen, as Spanish Fork learned the hard way last year in tournament play. So who knows what's going to happen on this one. I tell you, I can't wait. I'm really excited to see these two schools play.
Going to be a phenomenal series. We know that both teams circled this series in highlighter red. We hope that you have done the same on your calendar, because it's going to be an absolutely fantastic game. Let's go ahead and put a bow on this one. Thank you so much for joining us here on Spanish Fork 17. For our crew here at Spanish Fork 17, I'm Angela Rose. He's Mac Branding. We've had a fun time broadcasting this game for you, and it's even better when it's a Don winner. 6-3, the Dons over the Red Devils here on Spanish Fork 17. We will see you next Thursday with the rivalry matchup against the Golden Eagles.